Hey guys, Andrew here with this week's video. I just got back from Spectrum 23 and Boston this past weekend. It was really great being able to go to the Spectrum Awards. I got to meet some awesome artists, see some amazing artwork, and I'm super inspired and ready to get back to work right now. And number two is that Lebron James has been confirmed as doing the Space Jam sequel. It's especially relevant for this video considering I'm going to be showing you guys the beginning stages of a Space Jam illustration. I was going to include LeBron in it already just because there have been rumors floating around on the internet for a long time now, but seeing as how it's actually confirmed now, it's even more perfect. So I'm super excited about this illustration. I can't wait to finish it and show you guys. Number three for the announcements is that this is the first ever Schmandrew's Should Do's episode. I guess we can call it episode now that I have names. In these segments, I'm going to tell you guys kind of like best practices, and this is kind of like a listen to what I say, not what I do type spiel. Because I'm really bad about doing thumbnail drawings. And so in this video, I challenged myself to do a few more thumbnails than normal. Typically, I do 1 to 3 thumbnails and then jump into Photoshop. And without further ado, here's the video. Okay, so one thing that's different about this process for this illustration is I've already started out by printing off all of my reference material, which normally what I do is I'll make a file in InDesign and create a PDF with all of my references in it. And I did that here, but this time I printed it off rather than just having it on my iMac while I work on my Cintiq. And so right off the bat, I started with a couple different concepts going into this illustration. At first, I was really excited. I wanted to try and do like a 3D piece where I do this illustration, I print it off, you could cut it out, and then you could score it and you could fold it and create like a 3-dimensional paper basketball with the illustration on it. But then I quickly realized that I don't have the skills to do that because I would have probably needed a 3D program and the know-how to create such a thing. And then also the illustration wouldn't match up where the piece folded. So I had to figure that out. So I ended up giving up on that after a few test runs. So then after that, I came up with another idea that I was sold on for about a day and a half. Around this time was when I decided, okay, I really need to just do a bunch of thumbnails and figure this out because, like I said, I was married to the first idea. I tried it, didn't work. Married to the second idea, started working on it in Photoshop and quickly realized, oh, this isn't gonna work. And that second idea was, it's actually in the top left corner of this, and it's taking the creation painting of God and Adam, but replacing God with Michael Jordan, having him like holding a basketball in his outstretched arm, and then LeBron James like sitting down, reaching up to take it. So almost like a passing of the torch type concept. The next idea I had after I decided to switch over to doing thumbnail drawings, or doing a lot more thumbnail drawings, was to focus on the shoe and do like a shot where maybe it's at the ground level, the shoe's right there in the foreground, and then you see like Michael Jordan's leg going up, and then you see him like looking over his knee down at his shoe. And I chose this just because I wanted to do maybe some sort of like footwear graphic that could go on the shoe, because I spent 2 years at Reebok, so I really like shoes now, and just I love white shoes and things like that. So I wanted to do something like shoe related. But then it was just kind of boring, and the shoe is kind of a weird shape and takes up a lot of the image, so I kind of nixed that idea. The next idea was, I really love this photo of Michael Jordan in a dunk contest where he's just jumping through the air. It's not the typical Jumpman pose, but it's still just as dynamic, if not more so. And he's just jumping through the air, and there's so much energy and power, and it just feels like it's just begging to be illustrated. So I wanted to kind of use that pose as my main jumping point. And then I came across the illustrator Tristan Eaton. And Tristan Eaton, you probably saw a couple of his examples in the reference in the video, but he's a street artist, and he does these really amazing murals where he combines illustration and pattern work, and it's just so graphic and vibrant, and just you could just look at it all day long. And he actually just did a mural at Reebok's headquarters out in Boston, and so this past weekend I actually got to see it when I was there, and it's amazing to say the least. So I wanted to use that kind of as a jumping off point. So I decided I'll focus on using this pose of Michael Jordan jumping through the air, and then I'll have all these other shapes taken from the movie, whether it be like the oval Space Jam logo shape or taking like some planets and things like that, and whenever they overlap Michael Jordan or any other shape, put something else inside of that area where it overlaps. So it's kind of like a giant Venn diagram where wherever the stuff overlaps, there's going to be something else there. So that's my goal for this illustration. And as promised, I do have a fun little Space Jam story, and it's actually part of the reason why I chose Space Jam for this illustration, because this illustration is for an art show called 20 Years Later, where it's movies that came out 20 years ago. And one of my main motivators for picking Space Jam, aside from being a 90s kid, is that when I was little, I think I was probably like 5 or 6, and I remember it was Christmas at my grandma's house, and I was so excited for Christmas and so excited to open presents, and there was a big present under the tree with my name on it, and that was probably the first year that I learned the lesson of, like, even if you get a Christmas gift that you don't like, you still need to at least appreciate the fact that somebody got you a gift. And I was only like 5 or 6 at the time, and somebody got me a big Space Jam basketball, and it had Bugs Bunny on it, and it was a black basketball. And at the time, I already knew I wasn't good at sports, and I didn't like sports, so it was kind of disappointing for 5-year-old Andrew. Looking back at it, I kind of wish I still had that basketball. I don't know where it is or where it's at now, but it would be really cool to have for this project. But it's just a fun little story, and it kind of made me want to pick Space Jam as if I like owed it something, since I was disappointed that I got a Space Jam basketball for Christmas. So that's my fun little story. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Like I said, this is one of those do as I say, not as I do things. So do your thumbnails and don't be like me and jump into Photoshop too soon. I want to take this time to officially designate the end of my videos as a time to give a shout out or plug something that I'm interested in at the moment. So for this very special first edition of this part of my videos, I'm going to give a shout out to the artist and fellow YouTube person, Sam Gajou. She has a really great YouTube channel and even better artwork, so I encourage you guys to check her out below and subscribe to her channel. Her channel looks something like this. Go over there, hit the subscribe button. My favorite are her self-care for artists and her art communities tea talks. So check those out. You can find a link to her page below. And as always, you can follow me on my social channels. You can check me out on Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr, Behance, Periscope, and Gumroad. You can also go to my website at SchmandrewART.com. That is SchmandrewArt.com. Thanks so much, guys. Really appreciate it, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.